Grand awakening, everyone. I just woke up. It's early in the morning and I want to continue this flow. I had some thoughts that if I don't share them now, they're going to dissipate and disappear throughout the day with the daily distractions. I just wanted to say, let's get something straight from the jump. You've been running from loneliness your whole life. You filled every quiet moment with noise, distractions, fake conversations, and surface level connections. You cling to movement, to noise, to people, not because you want them, but because you're scared of the silence, scared of facing yourself. What if I told you that same silence you've been running from is the key to your freedom? We've been sold a lie. We've been told that being alone means something's wrong with us, that if you're not always surrounded by people, you're a failure. But how many times have you been in a room full of people and felt completely alone, surrounded by voices, but drowning in silence? It's not the presence of others that fills a void, it's connection. And you can't connect with anyone else if you haven't connected with yourself first. Solitude isn't weakness, it's rebellion, it's strength. Choosing to be alone isn't about escaping life, it's about diving deep into it. It's about stripping off the mask, ignoring the outside noise, and finally hearing your own voice, the real you. That voice buried under years of opinions, expectations, and lies. And here's what nobody told you. Your biggest discovery in life won't come from a book, a podcast, or anyone else's wisdom. It's in the moments when you're alone, when all the distractions are gone, and it's just you and your thoughts. That's where the magic happens. That's where the healing begins. That's where clarity shows up after the storm. Because yes, the storm comes first. Solitude hurts in the beginning. It's like detoxing from a drug. You itch, you squirm. You want to run back to anything that'll numb the discomfort. But if you stay, if you sit there through the storm, you'll find gold. You'll find that you never needed anyone else to complete you. You were whole the entire time. Real freedom is born in solitude. When you stop needing outside approval, when rejection no longer cuts deep because you've already accepted yourself, that's when you're dangerous. That's when you become authentic. Most people can't understand this because they're still chained to the need for recognition. But not you, not anymore. Not me, not anymore. In solitude, the chains that held you down turn to smoke. You wake up. You start caring about fitting into boxes built by people who never understood you. Their expectations became background noise because you're no longer living for them. You're living for what burns inside of you. That fire inside of you, it grows stronger in the quiet. And when that fire grows, so does your creativity. Your thoughts are no longer polluted by what others think. Ideas flow clear and sharp. You start seeing the world differently. Choosing solitude becomes your superpower, a place where you create, not consume, where you think for yourself instead of echoing the crowd. This is where the real transformation begins. Solitude isn't just about peace, it's a training ground for independent thinking. Since childhood, you've become handed beliefs, customs, fears, and desires that weren't yours. You inherited a mental framework built by others. But in solitude, you start tearing that down layer by layer, lie by lie. You finally hear your true voice, not the one you were taught to mimic, but the one you buried deep. You realize what you really want, what you really believe. And this shift from reactive thinking to proactive thinking frees you. No more asking for permission, no more second guessing yourself. You step into a power that's been waiting on you all along. But solitude doesn't stop at mental clarity. It pulls back the curtain on your fears, the real ones, not the everyday stuff, but the ones that whisper when everything's quiet. Fear of failure, fear of not being enough, fear of being forgotten. Solitude drags them out, puts them in front of you, and says, deal with this. It hurts like hell, but it's necessary. That pain is growth, that discomfort is transformation. When you face those fears alone, without running, without distractions, you stop being their prisoner. You become their master. And from that place, nothing can shake you. you'll also begin to understand something else. Something most people never will. Your cosmic insignificance. That in the grand design of the universe, you're just a speck of that much. At first, that realization stings, but then it frees you. Because your mistakes aren't world-ending. Your wins aren't all-defining. You're allowed to just be, to exist without proving anything to anyone. And in this stillness, time itself changes. It slows. It stretches. You stop being a slave to the clock. No more urgency, no more pressure. You realize it's not time that's rushing you. It's the outside world trying to keep you from your truth. But in solitude, you reclaim your hours. You move at your own pace. You build your life, not react to it. Solitude becomes your sanctuary, not a prison, not a punishment, but a sacred space where your soul can breathe, where you finally love your own company, where the few authentic connections you keep matter more than the noise of the many. From here, you take back control over your life. From here, you rise. So let me ask you, how much longer will you let the fear of silence steal your voice? How many more fake smiles will you give in rooms that drain you? How much longer will you keep trading your truth for acceptance? The answer doesn't have to come now, but when it does, let it be yours. Not borrowed, not forced, yours. Because at the end of the day, there's only one voice that matters, yours. And in the quiet, that voice becomes loud, becomes clear, becomes you. But hold on, we're not done. There's one more truth you need to hear, a brutal one that splits the real from the fake, the surviving from the living. Solitude teaches you how to face emptiness without reaching for something to fill it. It trains you to sit in the void, to resist the urge to numb. And in that void, you build something priceless. Mental resilience. That strength is not flashy. It doesn't come with applause, but it's solid, it's real, and you can't be taken because you've earned it in the dark, in the quiet, in the solitude where most people fear to go. That's your edge, that's your power, and it'll carry you further than any crowd ever could.
Lancescurv.com. Bold, raw, and uncut.